And we're back. Module 7, Lesson 3. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Or maybe good afternoon. Depends on when you're doing this. Okay, so hope you had a great weekend. Our Lesson 3 today, the objective is create conversion tables for units of time and use the tables to solve problems. Same thing we did last week on Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever days you did it. So lesson 1 and 2 were very similar. So this one has a practice sheet again, where we're going to fill out our chart, and then we'll use it to do our problem set. Today's is, you totally already know this stuff. You could do this without this lesson. I am positive on that. We're doing minutes and seconds, hours and minutes, days and hours. You know that there are 60 seconds in a minute. You know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, and you know that in a day there's 24 hours. Since you already know that, you would be able to do this. So we're going to do our conversion table first. We have minutes to seconds. I'm just going to write it this way right now because it is quite a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so every minute has how many seconds? 60 seconds. So what's the rule? You can already do it at the bottom. The rule is you multiply by 60. So at the bottom, you write multiply by 60 or times 60, whatever you want to write. It doesn't really matter. So really, we could take this and multiply by 6 and then add our 0. I didn't tell you that, but that's really what we can do. So like 2 times 6 is 12, and then add your 0. So 120 seconds in 2 minutes. So you can actually like skip count by 6 as long as you add the 0. So I'm just doing this really quickly and I'll show you. And you are probably doing it very quickly too. And here are our numbers. So obviously you can take a minute, maybe pause this, it would help you to make sure. If you look at it, I really skip counted by 6 and just added my 0 in. So now, since you have that all set, we're going to do hours to minutes, and guess what? 1 hour has 60 minutes. So it's the same chart. That's right, same chart. We multiply by 60. There you go. Days to hours. This one is a little bit harder. Oh, why did I just erase that? I just erased what I didn't want to erase. It will. So in one day there are 24 hours. So the rule is multiplied by 24. So that's actually, or that one's a little bit harder, obviously. I don't think everyone can multiply by 24. I can't. So 1 day is 24 hours, 2 days is 48 hours, 3 days is 72 hours, 4 days is 96 hours. I get to that point and I'm like, okay, I know this. But then I have to really think and mentally add the next step. So 96 plus 24, because I'm just going to add 24, gives us 120. Or I could just go off to the side and do 24 times 5, you know? 144, 168, 192, 216, and at least 10 times 24 is easier, 240. So you might want to pause that for a minute and just make sure your answers are the same. Okie dokie. Now we can use this chart, or we can use these tables to help us figure things out, or we can just kind of do it on our own, multiply on our own. I would say this too. You can probably do this entire problem set without me right now. So you could, if you want to, you could pause this And if you pause it and then do it, you really can't check your answers. Actually, you could always send me a picture of it, so you could do that if you want. But I'm gonna obviously go along and just do the work anyway. But you really don't need me for this, I doubt. Okay, so Courtney needs to leave the house by 8 a.m. If she wakes up at 6 a.m., how many minutes does she have to get ready? Use the number line to show your work. Yeah, I wouldn't say that you really need to use the number line for this. You wouldn't. We can show it very easily, but this is not something that we would think, oh, let's use a number line for it. It's not. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so they have a number line. I'm just drawing it really quickly so I don't have to do it upside down. But what I don't like is it doesn't actually tell you what is this? So this is supposed to be your hours. So this is like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So if she's got to get up at 6 a.m. to be ready to leave for 8 a.m., how many hours is that? That's 2 hours. So 2 hours, but that doesn't answer the question. It says how many minutes. So every hour has 60 minutes. So 2 times 60 is 120 minutes. So write your answer statement. She has 120 minutes to get ready. Simple as can be. And even though I know we would not have chosen to do in the number line, it was simple to actually do it. All right, so there's number 1. Number 2, Juliana's goal was to run a marathon in under 6 hours. What was her goal in minutes? All right, well, you know what? Look at your conversion chart. I bet you already know the answer, but look at your conversion chart. We have hours to minutes. 6 hours, so this is B on the conversion chart. 6 hours is how many minutes? 360 minutes. Now that's using the chart. If I didn't use the chart, I would say, there's something on there. I would say, well, there's 60 minutes in an hour, so let's multiply, and I would get 360 minutes. So she wants to run the marathon in under 360 minutes. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. Anyway, so there's number 2. Number 3, we're completing a table again. And some of these we already know. So now we're hours and we're minutes. You can write at the bottom already that you multiply by 60. When we go from hours to minutes, you multiply by 60. So we're doing 1. 1 is 60 minutes. 3, so multiply 60 times 3, that's 180. 6, we can actually just double 180, or you can say 6 times 60, which we already know, we just did that. So 360. 10, that's the easy one. 10 times 60 is 600. And then 15, if you're not sure, you can go off to this side. 60 times 15. 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 6 is 30. And then we cross that off, remember, in our place value holder. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 6, 6. Add those together and we have 900. Okay? All right, so we just did A, and the bottom, don't forget, right, multiply by 60 or times 60. Okay, days to hours. Days, hours. All right, 1 day has 24 hours. 2 days has 48 hours, so I'm multiplying by 24. 5 days, so you can do 24 times 5, or we can just look on our chart. Let's look on our chart. What is it? It's 120. 7, look on your chart. It's 168. And 10, 240. There we go. Already on the back. All right, so we are, and so multiply by 24. Make sure you write that. All right, so on the back, we have to do our conversions like we've been doing. They're just in hours and minutes and days and seconds and all that fun stuff. All right, so the first one, we have 9 hours. 30 minutes. And we want our answer in minutes. Okay, 9 hours is how many minutes? So go to your chart and find it. 9 hours is 540 minutes. I shouldn't write an M, but this is not meters, but plus 30 minutes. So that would be 570 minutes. Easy as can be, right? Not always, I know that. B, 7 minutes, 45 seconds, and we want it in seconds. So we need to figure out there's 60 seconds in a minute times 7. Now, could you just look on your chart? Yeah, absolutely. I just thought I'd do it this way for you. So 7 times 0, 0, 420 plus 45. Why plus 45? Because they already had 45 seconds. 7 minutes, 45 seconds. So we add these and we get 465 seconds. Okay, C is 9 days, 20 hours. So why don't you look on your chart? 9 days gives us 216 hours. Could you do 24 times 9? Absolutely. Could you look on your chart? Because we did the chart. Absolutely. So then we have to add our 20 hours to that. 236 hours. Okay, the next one is a big one. We have 22 minutes, 27 seconds. So 22 minutes, 27 seconds. Okay, so one of the tricks we can do, because we have the conversion chart, is we can break 22 into 10 and 10 and 2 if we wanted to. Or we can just multiply. I'm just going to multiply. So we're doing 22 times 60. 0 times 2 is 0, 0, 0. Place value holder. 6 times 2 is 12. Regroup. 6 times 2 is 12. 13. Woo! 1320. Okay, now I need to take my 1320 and add 27 seconds to it. And that gives me 1320. So 7, 4, 3, 1. 1,347 seconds. This is a big one. Next one, 13 days, 19 hours. So we could go on our conversion chart and find out, so we can break 13 into 10 and 3 and see how many hours it is for 10 days and how many, oh, let's do it that way. So 13, so you could just multiply. If you want to just go and multiply by 24, then add the 19, go for it. But we can break this apart using our chart. 19 hours. Okay, this is 10 plus 3, right? So how many hours for 10 days? That's 240 hours. And how many hours for 3 days? 72, right? Yep. Plus 72 plus our 19 hours. So I'm going to write this up and down. 240, 72, 19. 9, 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 331 hours. So see how I did it that way? Now, if you wanted to just multiply 13 times 24, go for it. And then add your 19. There's this perfectly fine. And then we have 23 hours. 23 hours, 5 minutes. Okay, so in this one, we can take our 23 hours and multiply by 60, or we could break this into 10 and 10 and 3. Now, that, we already know what 13 days is, so you add the other 10. So you can do it that way. I'll show you the multiplication way. Okay, 23 times 24, right? No, yeah. Hours to minutes. Yep. Wait, that doesn't make sense. I want to see how many minutes, not how many days. I get towards the end and I get all confused. I have 23 hours and I want to find out minutes, so I'm multiplying by 60. Silly me. 0, 0. Place value holder, because now I'm in the tens. 6 times 3 is 18. Regroup. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Oh dear. Okay, so we have 13, since I'm multiplying by the right thing now, 1380 plus 5. So it's 1,385 minutes. Sorry, I was stuck on days earlier. At least I figured out that I was wrong before I started it. Okay, and then 5 says explain how you solve problem 4F. Same way I solved the other problems. What did we do? We multiplied 23 hours times 60 minutes, because for every hour there's 60 minutes, and then we added 5 minutes. Done. 6 says how many seconds are in 14 minutes 43 seconds. I don't know why they didn't just put these with the other ones, because it's the same kind of thing. Okay, so we have 14 minutes 43 seconds. What do we multiply? 14 times 60. 0, 0, right? Why do I keep going around the side? 24, regroup. 6 times 2 is, 6 times 1, excuse me, is 6, plus 2 is 8. Okay, so we have 840 seconds plus 43. 883 seconds. And how many hours are there? Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. How many hours are there in 4 weeks? 3 days. Wow. So 4 weeks. Wow, that W did not work. 4 weeks, 3 days. Let's find how many days there are total. 4 weeks is 4 times how many days in a week? Do not say 5. 7. So that's 28 days plus 3 days. So that is 28, 29, 30, 31 days. Now that is not the question, is it? It says how many hours. So we take our 31 and multiply it by 24 hours in a day. I don't have enough room there, so I'm going to write it up here. I know I'll run out. So 31 times 24. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Place value holder. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Add these together. 4, 4, 744 hours. And we're done. Look at that. So the answer is there are 744 hours in 4 weeks, 3 days. Awesome job today, guys.